Barakateh Hawa, Barakateh Hawa Shai, Barakateh Hawa, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachakodash, Kau Halayim La Abanawi Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, teach well, where I learned this truth from. Peace, mercy, and blessings to the hopeful elect that believe on this truth and sincerity. It's your brother Yabba Khan coming through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this be exhorting and edifying. All right, just gonna speak on being rich towards the Most High, okay? You know, but it's Luke chapter 12, verse 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, and I want to make quick mention that the Lord spoke in parables, okay? Let's see what that word parable is. Metaphorically, a comparison of one thing with another, a likeness, a similitude. So basically, like riddles, because he said that it was for those who had the ears to hear, all right? Who had the understanding within their spirits, because the Lord just spoke plain, everybody will understand, but everybody wasn't given the spirit to understand. That's why he spoke in parables. All right, Luke 12:16, he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? And he said, this will I do, I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. So it was a rich man. All right, his crops brought forth a lot of fruit, to the point where he ain't had no more room, no more space to store it. And what was his next thought? To come to create more room so he could store more fruits. You know? Verse 19 again, and I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. So his thought process is to continue to gain more fruit, as if that's some type of godliness. Verse 20, but the Most High said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich towards the Most High. You know? So you could be getting things, or you could be getting things that may seem as if you prosper, but if you're not investing in the spirit, laying up your treasures with Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, it's not going to profit you. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivered from death. So the riches of this world not gonna get you nowhere. You know, it's practicing righteousness. All right, having faith in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah. That's what's gonna get us out of here. You know, let me go to hold on. Salakia. Oh, Proverbs chapter 13, verse 7. There is that maketh himself rich, yet hath nothing. You see, like the parable that Yahweh Shah spoke that I just read in Luke 12. That man had all that fruit, but at the same time he ain't had nothing. All right, because all the fruit, all the goods, so to speak, all the riches, he couldn't get that to the Most High in order to receive mercy. So there is that maketh himself rich, yet have nothing. Well, peep this, reading on. There is that maketh himself poor, yet hath great riches. You see, because you sacrificing the things of this world in order to lay up your treasures in the world to come. All right, through the Spirit, investing your time and energy in the Lord. not trying to chase a bag as the people of the world say, even though the bag is devaluing, the dollar is decreasing, which causes inflation. You're not worried about that. You're worried about seeking the Lord. And the things that we need will be added unto us. You know? 1 Timothy chapter 6. Start at verse 5 to get the point. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness. And this is talk about basically those who are not reprobate mindset, okay? They proud, knowing nothing, as it says in the verse above, you know. But ultimately, they suppose that gain is godliness. The things that they obtain in this world, the worldly things that they obtain, they suppose that is what makes them rich towards the Most High. But it says, from such withdraw thyself. You're not supposed to be in that state of mind. Because that's not what is the Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is looking for. You're not looking for the person with the most money, the nicest clothes, the biggest houses, the most women. You're not looking for none of that. You know, let me go to this real quick. James chapter 1. Salakia. I passed it. I'm on Salakia, James chapter 2. Verse 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, has not the Most High chosen the poor of this world rich in faith? You see, that go back to that Proverbs. There is that maketh himself poor, but yet is rich, roughly paraphrasing. Rich in what? Faith. Believing in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that no matter what we lose on this side, we're going to be rewarded 100-fold, because we lost it for the sake of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the sake of the gospel, the sake of the truth, the testimony. James 2:5, hearken, my beloved brother, hath not the Most High chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him? Okay? You don't see LeBron James, Jay-Z's, Lil Durk's, Denzel Washington's. You don't see none of them in the truth. You see the lowly, the meek, the humble. You know? Because the Lord chose the poor of the world, those who are at the lowest estates, to be rich in faith. He gonna confound the wisdom of the world. He gonna take the crafty in their own counsel, roughly paraphrasing. You know? So jump back to 1 Timothy chapter 6. Verse 6. But godliness with contentment is great gain. Because the things that we have, the Lord gives us according to what we need. But for us to think that the more that we have is what makes us closer to the Most High, it's not gain. All right, it says godliness with contentment is great gain. So us practicing the ways of righteousness on top of being satisfied with what the Lord gives us, that's the true riches. All right, keeping the faith on top of being satisfied with what the Lord gives us is the true riches. Verse 7, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. You know? And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts. Like the parable back in Luke chapter 12, that man who had all the fruit and took it upon himself to build more and more so he could store up his fruit. He wasn't thinking about giving to the poor. He wasn't thinking about serving the Lord. He was thinking about how he could continue to reap carnal things. As it says in Galatians 6 chapter, they that sow to the flesh out of the flesh reap corruption. He's worried about that fleshly riches, not the spiritual riches, which is the faith All right, practicing being godly, being humble. He wouldn't worry about that. 1 Timothy 6:9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and the snare. That's why we should want to be content. We should be content with the things we have, not worrying about trying to chase a bag as the people in the world try. As the people of the world do. And to many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. You see, for the love of money is the root of all evil. That's why people turn on their so-called day ones, or the people they grew up with. That's why people turn on their own family members. That's why people rob somebody's grandma, all for the love of money. That's why people do the things they do, for the love of money. You got women selling their bodies, all right, selling the box, all right, catching all type of diseases. Why? For the love of money. You know, it's the root of all evil. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, all right, wonder what the next man got, what these celebrities got that they always watching on Instagram, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. You know, and not just the people in the world, but you got people who had claimed to be in the truth. I'm pretty sure brothers can attest to it, but they see the truth might have come between them so-called gaining things of the world. So they erred from the faith. They stopped following Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua because they suppose that gain is godliness. But it's all but godliness with contentment, all right, following Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua and being pleased with the things he gives us to sustain ourselves and push the word, that's the great gain. You know, it say, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the face and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. But thou, O man of the Most High, flee these things. Don't worry about the love of money. This is not real money here anyways. You know, flee these things and follow after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, and meekness. And the people who these celebrities who got all this so-called money, they not meek, they not humble. They proud, they always boasting, you know. And you got some who might so-called get to the poor and things of that nature. But that's still not godliness. They still wicked as all hell. And the people who they giving to, majority of them the wicked. They not serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You know. Because this is the real riches. And when we preach the word, we sharing the riches, so to speak. You know? But I'm going to close it out with this, verse 12. Fight the good fight of faith. All right, it's a fight to separate from the things of this world, to not care about the things of this world. All right, the riches, the women, your family, things of that nature. It's a fight. So you got to fight it. A fight is not called a fight because it's easy. Your flesh want to tell you to your flesh try to tell you what to do, but you got to have your flesh in the back seat and let the spirit take the wheel, so to speak. It's a part of the fight. All right, your spirit driving, but you got the flesh trying to yank the wheel so y'all crash, trying to tell you to pull over and switch seats. It's a part of the fight. All right, fight the good fight of faith. Lay hold on eternal life. Because as long as the spirit in the driver's seat, you lay hold on eternal life. And we want to keep the spirit in the driver's seat, so to speak. We want to be led of the spirit. Really known whereunto thou art also called, and has professed a good profession before many witnesses. And that's those who we preach to. All right, the hopeful elect. So we want to continue to be in the spirit. All right, continue to separate from the things of this world. Because it's about to come to a point where we're going to have no choice but to be content. Unless we want to go to Esau, Edom. Otherwise, we will have to be content with the things Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua gives us. You might go a couple of days without eating and then eat. for a couple days, then go a couple more days without eating. You're going to have to be content with that, satisfied. Instead of going to take the charagma in order to be fed according to Esau Edom. You got to be content with godliness, having faith in the Lord, and being satisfied with what he gives us. But I don't want to go too long. Lord willing, this is edifying. With that, I want to say, Kal Halayim La Abanawi Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone who rule well, teach well, peace, mercy, and blessings to the hopeful elect that believe on this truth and sincerity. Till next time I say Shalom, Wamawaf, Lababor.